Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I wanted to do a list of products that I love, but in that I pretty much love everything about these products, but there's that one thing that makes them not perfect to me. I don't think I've seen anyone on the channels that I watch do a video like this. They probably have in the past, and if I do find anything I will link it in the description box below. But just was looking through my collection and seeing quite a few products that I know I love, but there's just that one thing about them that means they're not completely perfect to me. So I thought it might be a fun video idea. So let's get started. The first item to mention is the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil. For those of you that have seen my everyday makeup drawers, you will know that this is in my everyday makeup drawer every single month without fail, because this is the only brow product that I use. The issue I have with this one, and it is slightly gross, is that it regularly pulls my eyebrow hairs out, and I think you can probably see a couple on there right now. I won't get too close to the camera. I find that I do lose at least a couple of hairs from each brow each day. I don't know if this is a thing with every other eyebrow pencil out there, but to be honest, this is one of the only ones that I've settled on using that has this kind of applicator. I've tried pushing it up further so that it's not as close to the back of the applicator, but I find like it doesn't apply as well. So I think it is, as I'm getting to the bottom, it is just catching on the actual packaging itself. I have used, I think it was the e.l.f. brow lift pencil, I think it's called, which is more of a pointed precision brow pencil, and that didn't have that issue at all. But I don't know if it is the product that is clinging onto the hairs or they are catching on the back of the packaging itself. But other than that, I absolutely love this product. I use it, say, every single day. It's the perfect shade match for me, I think, and it's so easy to apply, and I can fill my brows in no time at all. So it is like my ideal brow product, but I just have that issue that it does slightly give me a mini wax every day. The next product is the Epic Ink Eyeliner from Nyx, and this is definitely up there with one of my favourite all-time eyeliners. My number one is the Tarte Man-Eater eyeliner, but this is a close second, but for its flaw. This eyeliner is ever so slightly wetter than the Tarte Man-Eater, so I do find myself making more mistakes with it than I do with the Tarte one. If I ever so slightly move my lid when applying it, this one does kind of jump and leave a mark, whereas if that happens with the Tarte one, I don't feel like I go out of the line. So that is its only flaw, that it's ever so slightly too wet of a formula, that it does mean I do make slightly more mistakes, but again, that might just be user error as opposed to the product. But for me, that's its kind of only flaw. But other than that, I really like the shape of the applicator. I like the length of it, I like the precision that it does give. I just, as I say, make mistakes because of the wetness of the liquid in it. As I get towards the end of the product, it might dry out slightly, which might make it easier to use. But I don't want it to dry up so much that it loses its integrity, kind of thing. But yeah, that's the only thing that's wrong with this one. And the price point, you definitely can't knock it. I think it was only £9, which is half the price of the Tarte one. Next we have the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. This is one of my all-time favourite drugstore mascaras. I would say this and the Benefit Bad Gal Bang are both my sort of top two mascaras. My only issue I have with this one is that the brush is just a little bit too long for my eye shape. I feel like I'm regularly poking myself right there on the bridge of my nose when I'm applying it and I'm trying to get my innermost lashes. I've definitely tried mascaras with a lot worse of a wand than this, but for me, because I love this mascara so much, it's just, if it had literally a millimetre off the end of that, it would be the perfect length to just fit my eye personally, which of course is what the brand's going to do. I like the thickness of the wand, how it does taper ever so slightly to the end. I say just the length of it is a little bit too long for my personal eye shape, and that is my only gripe with this mascara. Other than that, I love it. And again, price point wise, Benefit Bad Gal Bang is about £20. That is probably my favourite all-time mascara. This is a close second, and this is less than £5, might even be less than £4. Then we have the Makeup Revolution Heartbeats palette, and the reason that this is in this list is because I think it's just missing one shade. I had this in my everyday makeup drawer for April and I really enjoyed using it. I like the array shades that it's got in here, I like the quality of the shadows. Yes, they aren't the most pigmented and do require a bit of building, but I don't mind that at all. You feel like I can create numerous different looks from here. You have got your neutrals, your pinks, your oranges, your golds and your purples, so there is quite a few array of shades. The only thing I think it's missing is a light brown neutral transition shade. You have this shade Flutter here, but on my skin tone it does kind of fade to nothing. It is more yellow toned when you apply it on the skin, and it doesn't give you the deepness in the crease, whereas the likes of Emotions and Heartache and Spicy are a little bit too dark. I do use those to deepen my crease, but I do end up having to reach into another eyeshadow palette just for that lighter transition shade. Just reaching into another palette, this is the BH Cosmetics Royal Affair palette. I would say if I had a shade in here that was similar to Palace or Empress, then that would probably make that palette perfect to me, because they are probably the most common transition shades that I use from this palette. They are neutral cool tone browns, which I feel like that's what I tend to go for. I go for a more cool tone colour all in my crease, and then I do deepen it up with a warmer shade. So say these are the ones that I kind of use to deepen it up, but this one just, even though it's cool toned, it's not dark, it's not brown enough for my personal preference. I think as well, because these two shades are quite similar on the eye, I think if that a similar shade from what's in the BH Cosmetics one was in one of these pans, this palette would be perfect. I think I paid about £6 for it, and it is definitely worth that price, and say I do love using it, and it is highly appropriate that it's heart shaped. Then we have a couple of liquid lipsticks. The first one is this Pixi by Petra Matte Last liquid lip, and this is in the shade Evening Rose. This is a gorgeous warm tone pink shade. I really like the formula of this. I wasn't a fan of first, and I think it was because the applicator that put me off. I'm still not a huge fan of the applicator, and that is why it is being featured in this video. It is one that is supposed to hug the contours of your lips, but for me it is bent just that little bit too far back, and it is quite flexible, so I find it does bend a bit too far back, and I'm regularly going outside my lip lines when using it. It also does collect a lot of product in it, especially in this kind of first well of the applicator. So I really love the shade, really love the formula, super long lasting, and also fades down nicely. But for me, the only issue I have is that applicator is just not quite right for my personal preferences. And then the final product, I say, is another liquid lipstick, and this is the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit. This is an item that I've tried for the first time in the month of April, and I'm really enjoying the actual product itself. It's what I've got on my lips now, and this is in the shade Rebel Rose, and I think to me it's kind of a mauvey pink, but it's one of those shades that is going to be your lips but better on a lot of people. And I really like the feeling of this formula. It is super lightweight, it lasts a decent amount of time, and it fades down nicely as with the Pixi one. I think this one is ever so slightly more comfortable on the lips than the Pixi one. I don't have issues with that one, but this one you feel like you're literally wearing nothing. It's only when you've had it on for a few hours and it starts to get a bit drier that I realise that I've still got my lipstick on, but not in an uncomfortable way, and nothing that can't be easily remedied. And I would definitely be happy purchasing further shades, because this is the first one that I've tried, and I think these are sort of around the £5 mark, which is a really great price, and this definitely competes formula wise with some of the high end ones that I have. I also love the shape of this applicator, because this is one that hugs my lips perfectly. It just has that slight dip in it, but it's not flexible in any way, so it does perfectly line my lips the way I need to. My only issue is the amount of product that it deposits on my lips. I find like to get a full application, I do have to dip in and out of the tube a good few times to be able to get the right amount of product. When it initially comes out, it does bring out quite a bit of product out of it, but it found that only will do, say, my bottom lip, for example. I then do have to go back in to do my top lip, and then I'll tend to have to go in a third time just to kind of go over things again. It's not a major issue, it's just something that I don't notice that I have with many, if any, of my other liquid lipsticks, but I did notice it with this. So that's it for the list of products in my collection that I love, but there's just that one thing about them. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks.